Right there.
Get in the
I
zone.
oh my goodness, right there of all
Get in the
places to
zone.
start. I was about to say the most revealing secret of my life, and then I heard recording has started on the Blue Jeans call, and I just could not. Anyways, Daniel, are you familiar with the term dog water?
Dog water.
You know, it's instead of like what the kids are saying, instead of like that's dog shit. Dog
I,
like
I
that's
I don't follow. I don't follow with the kids.
as like that's bad. That's really shitty. Instead of saying dog shit, you say that's dog water. That's the term the kids are using. And
I have here a different definition that I won't read on air,
what of dog water?
but I will read as we go to the theme. This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
And that someone else is just someone else on this podcast. Me, Tanner, and Daniel. Um, so
Yep.
it's just us. And and I'd like to break down dog water, what it really means, and hopefully you guys are familiar with it. It kind of means just like in gaming terms, kind of gaming way of saying trash. You know, maybe you might say in a sentence, "Yo, your teammate's dog water. He's missing 50% of his shots. You know, he's not reviving you." It's like a gaming term, but it basically means like he's trash or like he's dog shit. It's kind of like the new way of saying it. And basically, what I'm trying to say is this semester, I just wrapped up the semester. Dog, dog water. It literally, that's how I can describe it. It was just trash. Like second COVID semester didn't get any better, didn't get any easier. In fact, it got worse because I took even harder classes and it had a greater frequency too.
Let's
So
let's get to this. This is actually the Tanner therapy episode.
yeah, oh my God. I think I got a D and as it stands maybe a C in like another class. Like I literally and Daniel, you know me, I'm upstanding citizen,
Of
high
course.
moral fiber, whatever. I'm getting D's and C's. I have a C in machine learning now. This is if they don't curve the class, based off of like
Uh, okay.
so many students have C's. That class was awful. Just takes it out of you. Any Georgia Tech students that are thinking about taking machine learning, CS 4641, don't. I'm sure, like, if you ask any Georgia Tech student about it and they say, you know, they'll say don't take it. It's literally a mistake. I was told it was a mistake, and I still took it anyway.
So why did you take it? What was the
Well,
original reason?
I thought it'd be a little bit enjoy. Well, I know I need like an IE elective kind of thing, so I was like, well, I'm kind of out of options here, and there's really only this big lecture left, so it's bad. It's so bad. It's so hard. The homeworks are literally impossible. My homework grades were like for the first homework is kind of a recap of Python and getting familiar with like NumPy, which is just manipulation of matrices and whatnot in Python. And I was like, okay, I can do this. Got an 89. Second one, a little bit harder, introduction to some ML algorithms. Got an 88. Third one, I gave up. Third homework, I gave up. And keep in mind the homeworks all told are with 50% of your grade. So
Okay.
like I gave up. I maybe did 50% of it. Fourth one, last one, I literally turned in 40% because that's literally all I could do. I was like stretched to my limits of just mentally, I kind of not understood, where my limits were. I hit a plateau. You keep running, and then there's just Ayers Rock in Australia, and that's kind of what machine learning was for me. This is a complicated, you know, analogy, but like imagine Australia is just flat, 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 and then you see Ayers Rock as just that monolith, that huge, huge rock in the middle of nowhere. And that's kind of what 4641 was for me. It's just like, okay, I understand now what it means to be like academically challenged. I'll back down. This was a mistake. Literally, a class Daniel's fucked up. It's really fucked. Dog water, in fact. So yeah, that was bad, and then just not doing great in my other classes because I was taking 3 senior electives. So as it stands, maybe a D and a C from someone you know as when we were roommates, I was straight B student. Really good. Good at B's.
Solid B's.
Solid. I'd say yes, solid B's. I'd get a couple A's. I actually got maybe I was really close to getting like 3 A's this semester, but I did not get a high enough grade. I was maybe, well, I don't know. I should do more math, but I got an 88 in like biology, freshman biology. Like I think I needed, according to my calculations, I needed a 79 on the final to get an A. I got a 74, but I also don't think my calculations were correct. If I, got an 84 after all that curving, so maybe I wasn't totally correct, but yeah, so didn't quite make it there. So more letdowns, and then not a good semester, that's for sure.
Anything else you need to get off your chest? I mean,
No, like it just wasn't my year. This was not the year of the, the Tanner. Yeah.
oh, there's next year, Tanner. I'm sure.
Next year, oh, next year, like I'm counting on that, and I like literally fingers crossed that it'll be much better. I hope so.
You got 4 more years, right? Is that right?
God, no, I'm trying to get out. Like this semester, I realized it's not about Georgia Tech. It's about getting out. Literally, it's not about the Georgia Tech experience. Georgia Tech is
You've
about,
already lost the experience. You think it's pandemic related?
well, no, it's not like it's just at this point, like not, disillusioned, but like I want to leave. Please get me out of here.
Where are you trying
Georgia,
to go? You moved back home.
no, oh, like out in the world.
Out in
Like
the world.
I want to
What's out in the,
graduate. I want to graduate. I don't want to be a tech anymore. I
what
want
is outside of Tech Tanner like?
hopefully, more professional, more responsible. And I say hopefully, someone who takes care of himself, but also understands he's got priorities outside of what he wants to focus on because he's an adult now and living on his own. Um, and also, it's a Tanner that I don't know yet, and that I hope to learn and figure it out. So it's a it's a person that you don't know too well, but you want to grow to know them because you want to respect them, or they are respectable, hopefully, and you want them to like you, and you want you know you to like them, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Does that make sense? Am I talking?
Yeah, I think I got it.
I had too much bleach today, chlorine and bleach in the pool. Yeah, like I'm
It's
struggling to keep my eyes open, like blurry. I don't know if you can see, like sunburnt a little bit. Like it's one of those like pool days where your eyes just hurt. No, ever happened to you?
it was 40 and raining today here.
Okay, so yeah, not a good pool
Uh,
day.
it wasn't really
Not
a
a great,
pool,
not a good pool day. I
not
see, I
really a
see.
relatable thing.
It was like 75 and it was in the sky. Beautiful.
Um, so where is future Tanner going to live? He's staying in
Oh,
Atlanta?
yeah. I don't know if I gave you any like updates of what I was thinking. Like top three cities to work in for me, like what I would be thinking post graduation. What? Why are you pointing
Where
at
I
this?
am?
No.
Where I am?
Uh-uh.
Oh, oh, oh,
Like
okay.
I'm thinking, like younger, like San Francisco, Austin, Atlanta. Those would be like top three. Kind of like up and coming, like tech hubs kind of thing. I mean, San Francisco's not up and coming, but like, you know, you know what I mean? Like they're younger, like hit places. So, but that's kind of where I've been like looking, and I haven't applied anywhere yet, but I've also been thinking about, a change of career, actually. I'm thinking about going into consulting. What do you think about
I
that,
think,
Dan?
did you mention that? You might have mentioned that before.
I might have like that might be something like that I'd be interested in. And I know this sounds kind of stupid for the listeners, but I honestly think I have good ideas sometimes. So, and I think that's pretty much what you have to be a consultant. Have good ideas.
I think you're an idea man. Yeah.
Exactly, and isn't that what a consultant is? A
Do
professional
you know
idea
what
maker?
consulting is?
Yeah, you give good ideas for for a compensation.
Oh boy. Uh, what kind of
Effectively,
consulting?
what do you mean? You have industry experience and you apply that to solve a problem that a company
Are
you
you
know,
reading a definition online?
nope, I'm not. That's just me talking, out of my head.
What kind of consulting?
Oh yeah, that's where it would be big because I know usually most places they want like industry experience. Of
Like,
course, me.
what are you consulting is my
I don't. Yeah, like I don't know. That's the thing. I really don't know. I just think that I think I'd be good at it. Maybe that's what a lot of IEs wind up doing from tech. I don't know if I have the GPA for it out of college, but like I could see myself doing it. You know, I think at first I was a little bit hesitant too because I know they have really brutal interview process. Like you have to do like consulting questions and consulting um, mock interviews that are like, how would you solve this problem? It's like kind of not very similar to my standard interview that I've gone through. So,
They'll
but yeah,
probably
that's
ask
just
you.
what I'm thinking.
They'll probably ask you what you think of consulting, and
What I have to say,
I don't think you can just say I have a lot of good ideas.
honestly, unless I can really sell them on that and my charisma, say I have a lot of good ideas and I think people need to hear them. Hire me. I'm good at that. Hey,
Charisma will only take you so far. I mean, it's taken you this far.
yeah, look at me. I'm a charismatic machine. I mean, what do you think? You think it's a good fit? Honestly,
Oh boy. Well, we are being recorded, so
I know we're being recorded, but this is Daniel off air. What would Daniel off air say?
Tanner, I would uh, suggest you follow your dreams.
Would you? Okay, okay. Thank you. Would you say I'd be a good consultant? Daniel off air. Honestly.
I genuinely want to know what you're consulting. I still haven't really gotten
So
an
you don't think
answer
I'd
on
be a
that.
good consultant in whatever field I'd go into? It's
Huh?
you saying it's dependent on what field?
Like, what are you consulting for?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm passionate about yet. See, there's still a lot of unknowns, right? Like,
I think you should figure that part out, is I guess what
yeah,
I'm getting.
and I
I think
hope
you could be good at it, but
I don't know.
it,
Yeah, I don't know what I would consult.
this is going to sound a bit ironic, but it seems like you just have this great big idea, but you haven't figured it out.
I don't know.
You're
Well,
looking
like,
at the forest, not the trees,
yeah, okay, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. You
which
know,
is maybe what you would be doing as a consultant in
yeah.
your consulting job.
But yeah, so I just need to find what I'm passionate about. For instance, this is like I'll give you the reason why I like looked into consulting this semester. In one of my classes, my group projects. Um, oh, I had like tons of group projects this semester. Like senior year is literally all group projects. Literally,
Yeah, yeah.
it is so annoying. It's like, oh, sorry guys, I can't meet at so and so times. I have a meeting with another group. It's like, what am I? What am I? A team player to you guys? Like what? You know? Okay, sorry. But basically, in this one group, I mean, I don't mean to like brag, but like, I think I had ideas. Like, I had the idea that kind of got implemented and like taken the furthest, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I was always quick to pivot and like suggest an idea that would eventually get adopted. And and so yeah, I didn't think about that. But then one of the group members that's kind of on top of her shit, like she was like the one kind of um, liaison between the teacher and professor and our group, and kind of just like the de facto like leader and really took charge in the leadership role. She reached out to me about like what I was doing for the test, like am I using so and so data set, whether it's the same, and just like asking me for like what I would do on the test. And I realized this person that like I thought was like on top of their shit was like reaching out because they thought I had intelligent ideas, or at least I had some kind of knowledge for this class. So I was kind of like impressed, and I was like, wow, maybe I do have good ideas. That was kind of my like aha moment. Like if this person that I thought was like kind of leading us, maybe it's because I have good ideas myself. So because of those good ideas, like the ones that I proposed, like maybe I can be a consultant. I have more good ideas on the way, and I like to see my ideas implemented too. Additionally, I know you're about to say something. I could see
I
you
wasn't.
your mouth. At
I wasn't.
UPS's hackathon last summer,
I don't know.
um, basically like you find like a product owner or a problem, some guy with a problem, you kind of solve it. Um, but the part that really interested me in that was like learning about our clients, um, what their issue, and learning about their system, and kind of learning what they do on a day-to-day basis, and how we can improve that, and learning about the systems they use and solving any inefficiencies and inadequacies with that, and like optimizing that. And so that's kind of what a consultant does. You know, they learn about what systems are currently in place that the client uses, so that they can, make educated decisions and whatnot, and propose educated solutions. So, and that's kind of what we did. And I was really passionate about that. I liked helping him, our client owner Dan. I was like super passionate about that, and that was kind of just a little bit of a facet of being a consultant. So I don't know, and that was the only fun work I really had the past summer, you know. So, so yeah, so that's like why I was thinking about being a consultant. That's kind of a fairly recent development, like as of like less than a month ago, or last time we spoke. So
So,
yeah, that's what I've been thinking as of a career path now. If you were curious, or if listeners were curious. So, sorry for the long-winded story.
no, that's
What do you
okay.
think of all that? What are your thoughts, Daniel?
So it sounds like you want to you want to be consulting on the stuff you've already learned about in college.
No, maybe not even that. Like, I don't know. Like we essentially our the thing I like proposed was kind of in like the project I was talking about, project group, was kind of just a system that would spit out if you had a house, plug in your house, how many square feet, a series of variables, and it would spit out what renovations you should do that would make your house X% profitable, 10% profitable, 9% profitable if you sold it. Like, what are the most profitable renovations essentially? So like that, and that was my idea, and that was like pivoting from an idea that I actually had that was kind of shot down by the teacher, and I was like quick to come up with this pivot, based off of his feedback, and kind of roll with that. But both were like my ideas, so I don't know. I feel like I had like good ideas. That's what I'm trying to say. Not very humble way of saying it, but like that's
But
kind of
you're
what.
kind of a genius, yeah.
Not a genius. I'm not saying I'm a genius. I just like
I would say that,
you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
of course.
So that's something that I'm gonna have to look into this summer and next fall, and try to score a job at one of those three places. I'm also gonna try to get my Salesforce certification. So maybe a Salesforce consultant would be cool. They make bank. They make a lot of money trying to like help people implement Salesforce into their company or on their platform or whatever. Those guys make some serious bank, but of course, industry experience is a little bit required. So we'll see. But Austin would be pretty cool city. So like I'd keep my
Syracuse, yeah.
antennas open for like younger type cities. I'm talking about that have like like if you're gonna move to a city, you want kind of a younger vibe. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like I'm gonna ask you, has it been easy to find people, and you kind of at the height of the pandemic, to find similar age people to make new friends? What's that been like?
Uh,
Like difficult? I can imagine it's difficult.
I mean, there's a college here, but I feel like that's just weird.
Yeah.
The people I work with, a lot of them are younger, and I know I
How
see them
younger?
a lot. My age.
Oh, okay. Do you go for like drinks or anything? Is it like,
We
yeah.
got dinner last night.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. You guys have any parties? Do those happen?
Do those happen?
Those happen. Like, what do you do on a Saturday night as a, you know, an adult? So,
Well, I mean, again, the pandemic kind of changes that.
yeah, which is really rough. Uh, so, but being in a younger city might alleviate some of those like worries. Maybe easier to meet younger people would be cool. Just yeah, that's why I've been like keeping those on my mind. Also, Austin is like a burgeoning IT city.
Do you want to work in IT?
Eh, no, they just have it's like a new tech hub. It's gonna be like the next Silicon Valley or whatever.
But you still want to work in tech.
Well, I'm at Georgia Tech. I don't know. I could work at it. I think I could work like anywhere, but I could find like an IT job too. You know, like that's technically my role at UPS, IT intern technically.
Technically, that's what it says on your resume.
Yes. Hmm. So, like they got a bunch of IT. They have a lot of like cloud software, cloud computing companies in Austin. Those are like the top companies in Austin to work for and whatnot. To their credit, like they've made it really easy to look for companies. There's like a website like I forget what it's called, like Visit ATX or something like that. And but yeah, ATX is what they call Austin. But yeah, so it's like
That's what the kids call Austin.
apparently it's what they call it. But yeah, so it like makes it easy to like compare jobs, and you can see like I don't know, it was just a nifty website. That was a .org website from Austin, Texas or whatever. So it was like it was nifty, and you could see and compare jobs and yeah. So, but if I wanted to work at Salesforce, which would be cool, and it's kind of like a like a big step up and kind of a big name in the tech industry. Salesforce in San Francisco would be the place. That's kind of like a reach. Uh,
A reach.
yeah, you know what I mean, like a exclusive. It's a you know something like a Silicon Valley type company. Yeah,
Does it count? Yeah, I guess.
you've heard of them? I
Yeah.
assume? Okay, so it's like yeah, it's no laughing matter. They got their name holds some weight in the valley. Is what I'm trying to say.
In
That
the
would be a
valley.
reach. I don't know. That's what you call it, I think. I mean, I'm not, but yeah. So, what else is new? What else is new? Um, have you seen The Mandalorian?
That's not new, but
Yeah. Have you seen it though? I don't know. Have you
I've
seen?
seen it.
You have Disney Plus?
Yeah, I can
Have you
afford it.
seen Bad Batch? The Bad Batch?
I just watched the first episode, like right
You
before
did, really?
this.
And what'd you think?
I thought it was good. It's a long episode. I was surprised they released like a
Yeah. I
75
thought it
minute.
was good. I really did think it was good. I'm excited to see like how it sets up and just what happens. Um, and I'll talk to you about that in a second, but I just got a pressing notification. I'll talk to you more about
Pressing.
the game.
I
Hold on.
can't read it.
So yeah, you won't be able to see it. So Brent, you know Brent Murphy?
Yes.
Brent Murphy posted a group me for people who want to go to like Braves games this summer, like on his Twitter, and bots keep joining, like tons of bots that literally say like extraessays.cf, the very best writing service in the industry, and then they post a picture of like a model, like I don't know, like a model, and they keep joining, and Brent set the thing to close, and
Maybe
literally
they're just models that want to join.
no, they're not, because they say the exact same thing. cool writing service at extraessays.ga. And they all have really low res images of models.
Oh, you know,
And
they
I
can't
actually
afford the
tried.
upload
I,
speed.
I messaged one of the bots. Oh, I blocked her after I think. But shooted my shot. In other words, I was
Uh,
like, "Hey, this is gonna sound kind of crazy, and I know you're a bot, but maybe you want to get dinner." And then they just posted the same thing. So yeah, and then so basically what I realized is if I want to start a GroupMe bot army, or maybe even crash GroupMe servers, I can just
okay.
create an empty GroupMe and then post it to my Twitter because I'm sure there's like bots that um
Twitter,
scrape
yeah.
the GroupMe like links. I mean, obviously there is. That's how they found Brent's. And even after, and the thing is, I think Brent took it down from his Twitter and they kept joining. So I
Well,
think
because if
once
they
it's
have the link,
yeah, exactly. Once it's on the internet, it's either multiple people or the same. I guess it's probably the same person, but like, maybe it gets uploaded to some database somewhere.
yeah, some consultant somewhere just, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's like, hey, I'll sell you this GroupMe link with these innocent college kids who just want to go to Braves games. You want to promote your cool writing software service or whatever. So,
Did you click on the link?
did I? No. Why would I click on the link? I was already ballsy enough to message Hadria. That was her name.
Hadria?
Yeah, the bot's name, I should say. Yeah, I thought I had a chance. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think I had a chance because his/her GroupMe picture was actually a GIF. It was a GIF of this very very muscular. Think like the eyes that are like this big, and it was like a GIF of these thighs that were just like closing. Like I don't know if I can really explain it. Imagine like
Oh no. Okay, so for our listeners, Tanner is
I don't know how to do this, but like
showing me things
it
that I
looks
don't
like
need
I
to
could give
see.
birth. Which
Tanner
is
looks
like
like he's about to give birth.
my face. Like it was
He's,
like a well, I don't know how to describe it, but it was
you're
like
just so for the listeners, Tanner is flapping his legs together.
yeah, okay, but if you can imagine this GIF, it's a it's just it's very erotic and sensual. And I shooted my shot with this bot essentially, and I just got hit with I got curved by the old writing services link. So, well, you know what they say, you miss every shot you don't take, right?
I guess so.
So, um, so yeah, Bad Batch. I'm excited. What do you think? You want to turn this podcast into a Bad Batch discussion podcast?
What have you seen both the episodes?
Both?
Yeah, there's two. So the
Oh,
one came out today.
really?
Yeah. I've only
I
seen the
haven't seen the
first
second.
episode.
I haven't seen the
Only seen.
second.
All right, Tanner, go ahead. Talk about the Bad Batch.
Okay, well, I don't know if you're a fan of what Dave Filoni's really been doing with the universe, the Star Wars universe, but I'm definitely a fan. I'm definitely on board, and I can see his vision. And this sounds kind of cheesy, but in every possible way, he truly is George Lucas's Padawan. Like just carrying on the torch as Star Wars was kind of transferred from Lucasfilms to Disney, and I think he's really carrying on George's torch, and it's what George would have wanted. And I know they're close friends, and they're really working together and very, very close, and that's kind of what keeps the magic of Star Wars special going forward. And so I'm kind of proud of him, and you can see his work in Rebels and the Bad Batch. Was that a nuanced take? Was that good? Mainly, I'm just kind of like talking about Dave Filoni. That's actually true. He's like the super. I don't know if you've seen the credits. He's like the supervising producer, kind of. He's kind of like after George Lucas got booted out of Star Wars, he's kind of like the George Lucas creative head, kind of. So he's kind of responsible for like shaping the universe as it is and kind of telling the Star Wars story going
The
forward.
TV universe.
I think he's had some play in um,
Got some play.
well, he's got some in Rogue One, excuse me.
Road Run.
Yeah, I'm still remembering. Sorry.
He just had
He's
a
the
voice cameo. He
Mandalorian.
didn't do any. I don't think he did anything on the production side.
I guess he's a director and writer.
But he is getting.
Producing.
Uh,
Yeah. Served as the director of the Star Wars Clone Wars film, and yeah.
yeah. So uh, yeah, this show's pretty good. Basically takes out.
Yeah.
It's kind
You're
of
a
like
big
a.
Star Wars? I never would have thought.
Huh?
I didn't know you were a Star Wars fan.
I've seen the Wars from Stars. Uh,
Did you watch the Clone Wars when you were a kid?
yeah. I mean, I watched. So the most recent season of the Clone Wars came out last year.
Yeah. I remember,
Uh,
but I like it started. It started when I was a kid. I totally remember, kind of like,
well, I'm not as young as you. So.
well, you know what I mean. But like, I just remember.
2008 to 2014.
Yeah, I remember 2008. Like, I don't know, coming out. I was really excited to see like more Star Wars on Cartoon Network. That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's pretty hype. I like the direction it's going. It seems like Clone Wars season 8, right? Or is this season? So Clone Wars has how many seasons? 7 or 8.
Clone Wars. This isn't so. The Bad Batch is technically a separate spin-off
Well, I know,
series.
but it's like it kind
Clone
of is
Wars
like
has 7 seasons.
yes. So it's kind of like Clone Wars season 8, but then it turns it on its head. The very intro sequence of the Bad Batch is like, here's Star Wars: The Clone Wars, dun, 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 and then the Clone Wars parts burn away, like it burns away to reveal Bad Batch instead of
Yeah,
Clone Wars.
yeah. Well, they're trying to get the Clone Wars
It's telling you
audience.
this is the Clone Wars, but no, this is a new story. So it's like you think, but no, you know. But
Well,
yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely willing to watch this show some more. I don't have Disney Plus, so I have to view it in other ways that I'm not legally, allowed to discuss over broadband
uh,
access.
of course, of course.
But
You mean you watch it legally with a friend?
yes, of course, that friend being someone on the internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's an interesting show. Do you want to talk theories? Do you want to have an episode 1 discussion?
Theories. It's kind of. All right, then I guess we have to spoil what happens.
I mean, no one watches this podcast anyway, so.
I mean, I don't. There's not much to theorize here. They basically go off on their own. Or do you mean like?
Like, what do you think's gonna happen? Where do you think they're going? How is it setting up?
I think they're just mercenaries now.
Oh, well, yeah, but like the
Sorry to
big,
disappoint you.
I don't know, the big thing, and this is what I was thinking. Obviously, Omega is like a force sensitive clone.
Oh, okay. You want to talk about
Catch that?
her? Yeah,
You caught that part at least, right?
yeah. When they're in the end battle or
Yeah,
whatever.
she uses the force, and she's just lucky. Lucky is synonymous in the Star Wars universe for having the force, pretty much. And also when she was like talking to the Deadshot, whatever his name is, the sniper's name, she's like, I can anticipate what you're about.
Crosshair.
Crosshair. What did I say? Deadshot. Too much
Deadshot.
sniping like mercenary people. Um, she's like, I can anticipate what you're about to do. Obviously, like some kind of force empathy or some kind of maybe she can see the future, soothsayer style, you know.
Actually, I can
Um,
see the future, but
but
I see your
she
point.
could just emote with him and kind of. And
Yeah,
also, I recognized during that scene, and just in most Star Wars, movies, whenever you see someone doing the force, you can hear like the do 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 do, like that little motif. Like you could hear very faintly when she said, "I understand what you're about to do." You could hear like the French horn play that interval. The
Is it a French horn?
yeah, well, like not a French horn, but I don't know. Maybe it was a French horn, but like I heard that motif and I
Yeah, we gotta
instantly
get the
knew.
musical instruments right.
Well, music is such an important part of Star Wars. Literally
Yeah.
integral to Star Wars and its success, in my opinion. Honestly, kind of carried. Star Wars nostalgia is kind of carried by the gorgeous soundtrack. But yeah, so like I could hear that theme and kind of instantly recognize that. And also, you kind of got some tells. Her name is Omega. Omega literally means like last of the set, right? Like
Well, she's the fifth defective clone. I guess
okay.
defective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, like not defective. I think
Well,
the
altered.
Kaminoans were trying to make a force sensitive clone.
Oh, you think they were? You think we're gonna have more
Yes.
like Camino scenes between the Prime Minister and the
Oh well,
whatever?
at the end, they try to let Omega escape. They try to help the Bad Batch and
Well,
Omega
I don't think
escape.
the Prime Minister knows. I think
Well,
just the.
maybe like what I've seen, and this is what I've seen theorized is like Omega's kind of they don't want the Empire to get their hands on Omega because she's like super powerful and like top secret research. She's a precious good, so they'd rather let the Bad Batch and her escape than have her captured by the Empire.
Isn't this kind of a little too close to the Mandalorian?
Well, here's how it ties in. Yes, a little bit. You remember, you know, Episode 9 of Star Wars, the sequels? You ever watch those? All right, it's been 2 years since he's come out. Palpatine's back.
Whoa.
He's been cloning, right? So obviously, cloning has been a theme in Star Wars. Okay,
There's a lot of cloning of force sensitive things
what do you
and
mean?
mercenaries. It's like the same, like,
In the Mandalorian?
and the Bad Batch.
Yeah. So essentially, like the running theory is the Bad Batch eventually, the Empire will get their hands on Omega and discover. Well, okay. Also, the Kaminoans, and I think this is part of like a Battlefront 2, like one of the Star Wars Battlefront games. And you can kind of see this ramping up. The Empire's like, hey, we have no use for you anymore. We don't need your stupid clones. And the Kaminoans are basically like, shit, our entire GDP is dependent on like exporting these clones.
Yeah, I
What are we
thought it
gonna
was
do?
kind of cool seeing like the background to like the end of clones and the beginning of stormtroopers.
Yeah,
I don't know how much they'll go into that, and maybe that's not as cool as
they do in
I
like
make it
other,
out to.
yeah, other
I mean,
universes.
just in yeah, on television it'd be.
Cool to explore. But yeah, so like I think in the video games the Kaminoans revolt. Like literally they say like fuck you and they take back the clones and the Empire sends in a bunch of stormtroopers and you play as a stormtrooper in the game. So as a stormtrooper you kill all the clones and shut down the Kaminoans. So that might happen. There might be a revolt. In that revolt, the Empire seizes the means of the Kaminoans' research and cloning research, and through that, the Empire learns, oh shit, we can make force sensitive clones. Then the Emperor Palpatine's like, all right, let's try it. And so they try to make some force sensitive clones. And it doesn't go over too well. So they get people like Snoke, from episode 7 and 8 of Star Wars. He was the
Okay.
baddie.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was essentially a failed clone, and it kind of does look like he's a failed clone. And you can tell he's a failed clone because in the beginning of episode 9, they show a bunch of Snokes in like
I think they also say straight up he was
exactly they literally say that. So that's kind of the theory is like eventually the Empire will win, and they try to replicate the Kaminoans' force sensitive cloning process, but they don't get that close. So and obviously the Empire is trying to because in the Mandalorian, you know, um, they harvest Baby Yoda's blood for its midichlorians. So obviously they're trying to literally like do a little siphoning of midichlorians, inject it into a clone, and do some research there. But yeah, so that's the kind of world building that that I'm expecting from Dave Filoni and that he's kind of trying to build, and kind of that's his story that he's trying to tell with the new Star Wars, and I'm kind of here for it, and it's kind of really cool, kind of exciting to be like able to theorize each week. But so yeah, that's been keeping me going. So yeah, so I watched The Mandalorian recently, like binged it with a friend of mine on the internet, and yeah, so that was a really long-winded rant. So thank you for hearing me out, because I know I asked you a question and I basically just said Dave Filoni this, Dave Filoni that, cloning, cloning, cloning. So sorry, Daniel. That was not so much a discussion as it was me probably theorizing, and I think I'm essentially accurate. My theory, sorry,
Go ahead.
my theory, Omega is a clone of Palpatine.
Oh, they're doing that again?
Well, no, like on accident. Like honestly,
On
she kind of looks like
accident?
Palpatine, right?
No, she doesn't. She's supposed to look like the other clones.
Well, is she supposed to be a clone of?
But she's supposed to look like Jango Fett.
Yeah, but she doesn't really look like any of the clones. I get that she's a girl, but she's got blonde hair. Look at compared to Palpatine in Bad Batch, in the Clone Wars, right? She looks a lot like. Here, let me share my screen.
You don't think she just bleaches her hair?
Yeah, but okay, look. So, do you see my screen?
Yeah. How can you tell?
I
But
mean, the hair's
Palpatine's
kind of
got
close.
Palpatine's got gray hair. I think you're.
Okay, but like it's like the hair's kind of slicked back. It kind of looks
So the style's the same.
okay, but hear me out. Hear me out. If you want to even connect the universe even more, so Rey is the granddaughter of Palpatine, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she's not the granddaughter. Maybe she's just the daughter of the clone of Palpatine. So maybe Omega is Rey's mother or something crazy like that. I don't know.
No, they said that technically Rey's parents were.
Junk treasure, but like
Yeah, honestly, I don't even remember.
maybe that was her parents like that, raised her or whatever for a couple of years when she was. Maybe her actual parents just like.
I think you're seeing something that's not there.
Okay. That's just my theory. That's just a theory. She kind of looks like Palpatine, and I expect her to be Force sensitive. She looks like Palpatine a little bit. It's the hair. That's literally it. The hair makes her look like Palpatine.
But the eyes are completely different.
Yeah, the eyes are different, 100%. But like, she's got different hair than the clones. Kind of weird.
Oh.
I don't know if she's really a clone of the clones,
According to Tech, it's very obvious that
Just
she's a clone.
that she's a clone, but they never say she's a clone of Jango, do they? I assume it's trying to be. It's like implied, but like they never explicitly state.
Well,
That's
they
why
keep saying she's one of us.
Yeah, but I think they're purposely being vague to say she's a clone of like Obi-Wan or she's a clone of Empire Palpatine or something like crazy like that. They're gonna pull something fast on us. Obviously, in this universe, if you're Force related, you got to be like connected to a big name. Because in episode, 3 episodes from now, they're gonna reveal, oh shit, she's actually the clone of Obi-Wan or something like that. Just wait, something like that.
We'll see.
Because that's how you get ratings. That's how you get mentions on Twitter.
Well, we'll come back for another podcast episode and talk about it.
Yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed the series, though.
I don't even know how many episodes. 16 episodes.
There's 16 episodes of it?
Weekly, right? Isn't it weekly?
There
will be.
That doesn't make unless are they all going to be an hour?
No, so the second episode's half an hour.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Wait, I just look up Bad Batch Omega. It says Star Wars may have just introduced its first on-screen transgender character. I don't think so.
We're getting in murky waters here.
Yeah, I think she's just supposed to be they're like, oh, what if we make the Y chromosome an X chromosome?
Oh, I guess it's technically needing. I don't want to say the wrong thing here. I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, I don't think she's a A transgender. I mean, I have her Wikipedia pulled up. It says she's a female. I know Wikipedia probably isn't the
Well,
go-to.
but she identifies as a female now. But I think the point is that she was cloned from male
Yeah,
DNA.
so maybe that might be
Does
something
that
down the
meet
line.
the definition of transgender?
Yeah, no, that would be an interesting story point. So let's see what Inverse.com has to say about it. Is Omega a trans clone?
I think we're going down a rabbit hole.
Okay, yeah, that might be that'll be explored later.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. We'll get back to our listeners on that.
Yeah. So
Tanner have a whole report ready.
I'll have a whole report written about her lineage, whether or not
So
she's a transgender, whether or not she's force sensitive, whether or not she's the clone of Palpatine.
So 16 episodes. That's several months. 4 months.
Yeah, that's crazy. If could you imagine if each one was an hour and 15 minutes long?
So I mean, the second, like I said, the second one's only half an hour.
Yeah.
I think the first one was just like the special, because they kind of needed to provide some background,
Yeah.
right, just to get them started. Like they get into the Order 66 and stuff and all that.
That was good that they just went out the gate with that. I appreciated that. So wait, does it actually come out today?
Yeah, so one episode came out today,
Wow.
maybe last night, or whatever, midnight dropper, whatever they drop.
I need to get a Disney Plus, is what you're trying to say.
Not that expensive. It's $7 a month.
You think I have that kind of money?
Yeah, with your big time consulting jobs coming up.
Yeah. I mean, flex, but I'm kind of a consultant and I have Disney Plus. That's gonna go on my Bumble. My Bumble.
Oh boy,
page.
you got a Bumble?
No. But I think I'll create one when I move.
Just to
New
put that
to the
on there.
city, not looking for anything special, just looking for friends. One of those.
One of those.
Yeah.
And then the pictures are all, I
Me
don't know.
hiking with my dog.
I guess I don't know what's the
I
standard.
I don't know what the pictures that usually go for that, but it's like not looking for anything romantic, just looking for friends. Yeah. I'm not saying I would be one of those person. I'm just saying. That's how you meet people in the city. You gotta go on Bumble, I guess.
And make sure you drop the podcast link.
I will. I'll put in also major podcaster. How to get girls 101. Just say you're on a podcast. Girls love guys who are on podcasts. Huge
All right.
success for the ladies. All right,
Uh,
thank you guys so much for listening to this very special Good Batch episode. Please stay tuned for the Bad Batch on Disney Plus.
not sponsored.